How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Double Talk Anime Channel, where I, the Double Talk, am going to talk about Aokana episode 11. And by the way, I kind of thought that this series was ending, so like episode 12 was coming out, but apparently I miscalculated somehow. I don't know what the hell's going on, but you know, it's kind of good that, you know, the series didn't end yet, because this episode was freaking fantastic. It was really brilliant, and this anime, it just continues to seriously like change my opinion and like turn me like 360 around of my feelings and whatnot. And that is with Inui-san, because in this match, for some reason, after all the training that happened with episode 10, like, oh, we're going to go train for the tournament, and now we're in the tournament, and like, okay, time skip, but I mean, whatever, it's a time skip, and it makes sense because now they train for the tournament. We're gonna find the birdcage. Here's the tournament, and in the tournament we have everyone competing and whatnot. We had Rika fight with Mashiro. Mashiro beat Rika, which is really cool because like two speeders and everything, and it's pretty cool. And then everyone's going in. Shindo isn't in the match for some reason. I think it's just like a junior competition. That explains why the captain, the previous captain of the FC club and our main characters, he's in there as well. So it kind of makes sense. It's like, okay, why is it that Shindo's not playing in this tournament? But I'm assuming it's like for like lower division or whatever, like younger grade or whatever, something like that, right? So throughout the other tournament, we also see Asuka fight someone else, and it's really awesome. But I gotta give it to, like, the highlight of this episode was Misaki versus Inui, and like, I don't know why. It's like the match with Shindo versus Asuka, sort of, in a sense, and Shindo versus Misaki, because those fights were really awesome, and that like really, like when they were fighting out, it just really looked amazing, like how they're just like fighting and like playing the game. And then with Misaki and Inui, like, you know, Misaki had her whole thing where she quit because she was scared and whatnot to like dedicate herself to it, and she's finally back into it. And with all the training that she had from Messiah, she's like, okay, I'm ready to take on Inui-san. Like, okay, so I was assuming like she has to beat Inui-san to fight Asuka, who is going to be in the finals. So, you know, I was hoping, or like, you know, not hoping, but like a little bit of me thought that, you know, okay, Misaki probably could be Inui and fight Asuka in the final episode, because that would make for a cool final episode. But then unfortunately it didn't happen. But although this their fight was really awesome, I really enjoyed every single second of it, because Misaki is a fighter type, and you know, against Inui's birdcage technique, Misaki would have to like go up and try to fight her throughout the thing, right? But then of course the birdcage prevents that, because all you do is just wait for your opponent to make a move and then counter them, right? And like, Misaki approaches it in really different ways. She's like really aggressive, and that like breaks the birdcage a little bit. It gets Inui off edge and her coach, and they're just like, oh, she can do the sonic boom, or she's like flying like backwards, upside down, or like, what? Like, that was sick and amazing. And you know, it helped, because you know, Misaki was like flying upside down and like attacking her, and then like she'd use all these scorpions and techniques, sonic booms, air kick turns, and she scored a point on Inui. It's like, oh shit, it's 1-0. And it's amazing because in the middle of the fight, like Misaki is like going all out, right? But then Inui starts to feel a little bit differently. She's like thinking, it's like, oh, this person is like doing this fighter type, and she's trying to come at me because she's a fighter and whatnot, and like she doesn't know like this feeling and whatnot. And then Inui-san like eventually stops listening to her coach, right? Because she gets like the passion and the feeling of FC, and she feel like, okay, I want to beat this person in a dogfight, and that was freaking amazing. And because, you know, I always thought like, hey, this character, like, because, you know, she's the antagonist, but then no, she's like legitly changing her ways, and like I thought that was pretty amazing. And like, so yeah, she feels the passion burning in her body, and she's like, okay, I want to fight Misaki in dogfight. And then she does, and it's so epic when they're like zip-zapping, zoom thingy, and like, wow. And then she like takes a 2 lead on her. Unfortunately, she's really good at dogfighting besides birdcage, and like her coach is just like, what are you doing? It's like, what are you trying to do? Because she's not following to the birdcage, she's not listening to the original plan, she's doing the original FC, which is dogfighting and then, you know, all that stuff. And it was a really good, awesome match. It's just like freaking constant hitting and like flying and stuff, like all the lightning when they hit each other. And then the scoring, like it was legitimately tied. It was like 1-0, and then Inui scored like 2-1, and then she scored like a 3, and then there's like 9 seconds left, and like Misaki had like 9 seconds to score 2 points, but then like the score was so close. It's like Misaki with 2 and then Inui with 3. And even though Misaki lost, I still felt that it was an amazing match. And like, you know, Misaki was crying after the fight, but then, you know, I was like, you know what, Misaki, that was a really good ass fight. Like, I'll applaud you for that. And everyone's like really happy for Misaki because she tried her best and she was just freaking down and amazing. But then, you know, Misaki sort of like, you know, she lost, unfortunately, but you can't help that. And then her Inui's coach is just like, oh, I don't like this win. We got this win because we were doing the original FC and we're not doing birdcage, not flying beautifully or whatever. So now, I'm thinking after this episode, you know, like it's not Inui's fault. It's gotta be something about coach, because, you know, even though Inui and the coach developed their, okay, we thought that birdcage technique was really beautiful and it's the best, it's the only way to do FC. And then after this fight, you know, Inui-san realizes like, oh, it's so fun to do dogfights and like see this the original way. So then she stops doing birdcage and just initiates the dogfight with Misaki throughout the whole match, and like, you know, she wins, but it wasn't as like the other matches, because if you see in the matches, like, oh, she used birdcage on this people, she got like 8-0, 5-0, 7-3-0, and then in this one it's like 2-3 because she changed her style. She was tired of doing birdcage. So now it's just like, okay, there has to be something that's probably gonna cause her to, you know, stop doing birdcage. It's probably Asuka, because it's Asuka and Inui in the finals. And like I said this before in the last episode video, I think, is that, you know, we blame these antagonists for something, right? But then we hate them, but then we feel there's always a background story to why they're the antagonists. And now I'm starting to see that here. It was like, okay, I actually like Inui. She's really cool and she's really strong. And like after this whole episode, you know, she's always like expressed like the coup de grace, right? She's like expressionless like this. And like, yeah, you know, nothing happens. Like, but here, she's like talking to herself like, oh, what is this burning feeling in my chest or whatever? And she's having fun doing FC dogfighting, and like, oh, this girl's amazing and adorable. So yeah, you know, I can't wait to see that feeling change, because being Asuka is the super active, awesome kawaii character in this game, in this series. She's gonna probably fight Inui, have fun at the same time, and change her perspective, and, you know, it's the finale, basically, so I'm really excited about that. But, you know, I thought this would be the first series to finish in the series, but unfortunately, it's going to be Boku Dake ga Inaimachi, which comes Thursday, right? So anyways, guys, like the video if you enjoyed, like the video if you like Aokana, because this episode was freaking awesome. Inui and Misaki, I got a round of applause to their fight and that whole fight in the episode, because that was freaking awesome. It was visually awesome and just really inspiring, you know, that she changed her ways and stuff. So, like the video, guys. Subscribe, because next week I'll be back to cover the finale of Aokana for Rhythm Across the Blue. I believe that's the title fully. Episode 13, no, 12, I believe it's... Was this going for 12 episodes or 13? I forget. Well, subscribe either way, because I will cover the finale and we'll see the final match between Asuka and Inui, yes. So, I'll see you guys on the next video on the Double Taku Anime channel. But before that, follow me on Twitter at the Double Taku, because I am the Double Taku. You want to see more of me, the Double Taku, then follow me on Twitter and subscribe, because you can see more of me, the Double Taku. So anyways, guys, see you on the next video on the Double Taku Anime channel. Take care, guys, and matane.